on the Broom by Julia Donaldson and Axel Scheffler. The witch had a cat and a hat that was black, a long ginger hair in a braid down her back. How the cat purred and how the witch grinned as they sat on their broomstick and flew through the wind. But how the witch wailed and how the cat spat when the wind blew so wildly it blew off her hat. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the hat, but no hat could be found. Then out of the bushes, on thundering paws, there bounded a dog with the hat in his jaws. He dropped it politely, then eagerly said, as the witch pulled the hat firmly down on her head, I am a dog as keen as can be. Is there room on the broom for a dog like me? Yes, cried the witch, and the dog clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the fields and forests they flew, the dog wagged his tail, and stormy wind blew. The witch laughed out loud and held on to her hat, but away blew the bow from her braid just like that. So there goes the bow off her braid. And what's going to happen to her hair? Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the bow, but no bow could be found. Then out from a tree, with an ear-splitting shriek, there flapped a green bird with the bow in her beak. She dropped it politely and bent her head low. Then said, as the witch tied her braid in the bow, I am a bird as green as can be. Is there room on the broom for a bird like me? Yes, cried the witch, so the bird fluttered on. The witch tapped the broomstick and whoosh, they were gone. So now there's the cat, the dog, the bird, and the witch on that broom. So I wonder who's going to go on the broom next. Over the reeds and rivers they flew, the birds shrieked with glee, and the stormy wind blew. They shot through the sky to the back of beyond. The witch clutched her bow, but let go of her wand. Down, cried the witch, and they flew to the ground. They searched for the wand, but no wand could be found. Then all of a sudden, from out of a pond, leaped a dripping wet frog with a dripping wet wand. He dropped it politely, then said with a croak, as the witch dried the wand on a fold of her cloak, I'm a frog as clean as can be. Is there room on the broom for a frog like me? Yes, said the witch, so the frog bounded on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. Over the moors and mountains they flew, the frog jumped for joy, and the broom snapped in two. Down fell the cat and the dog and the frog, down they went tumbling into a bog. The witch's half broomstick flew into a cloud, and the witch heard a roar that was scary and loud. I am a dragon as mean as can be, and which with French fries tastes delicious to me. No, cried the witch, flying higher and higher. The dragon flew after her, breathing out fire. Help, cried the witch, flying down to the ground. She looked all around, but no help could be found. The dragon drew near with a glint in his eyes and said, just this once, I'll have witch without fries. So he is going to eat that witch without French fries, and he wants to catch her. But just as he planned to begin on his feast, from out of a ditch rose a horrible beast. It was tall, dark, and sticky, and feathered and furred. It had 4 frightful heads. It had wings like a bird. And its terrible voice, when it started to speak, was a yowl and a growl and a croak and a shriek. It dripped and it squelched as it strode from the ditch, and it said to the dragon, "Buzz off, that's my witch." So there it is, and it's challenging the dragon and saying, "Buzz off, that's my witch." The dragon drew back. He started to shake. "I'm sorry," he sputtered. "I made a mistake. It's nice to have met you, but now I must fly." And he spread out his wings and was off through the sky. Then down flew the bird, and down jumped the frog. Down climbed the cat, and "Whew," said the dog. "And thank you, oh, thank you," the grateful witch cried. "Without you, I'd be in that dragon's inside." Then she filled up her cauldron and said with a grin, "Find something, everyone, throw something in." So the frog found a lily, the cat found a cone, the bird found a twig, and the dog found a bone. They threw them all in, and the witch stirred them well, and while she was stirring, she muttered a spell. Iggity, ziggity, zaggity, zoom! Then out rose a truly magnificent broom, with seats for the witch, the cat, and the dog, a nest for the bird, and a pool for the frog. "Yes," cried the witch, and they all clambered on. The witch tapped the broomstick, and whoosh, they were gone. So their new broom has built-in seats for everybody to sit in. They don't have to balance and fall off. All right. So today I made my homemade witch's broomstick. So I started with paper tubes. You can use a paper towel tube or a poster tube or whatever you have at home. So I had this big long tube and I thought it was too long, so I cut it in half. And I started coloring it with my stripes to make it look like a witch's broom. And for the end of the broom, I'm using some paper lunch bags, and I'm just snipping the end off of the paper lunch bag. So I'll take a couple and I'll line them up together. They don't have to be all the same length, they can be different lengths. And I'm gonna just stack them one on top of the other, and then I'm gonna take my scrapbooking scissors, or you can get children's scissors that have the different shapes on the edge of the blade. And I'm going to trim up my paper bags to look like the wisps on the end of a broom. So if you unfold it, that's what it is. And I'm going to just roll it around my tube like that. And I'm going to do a couple of layers so that it looks nice and full. So my first one I'm going to put inside my tube. So I'm just going to roll it kind of tight. And it depends what size your tube is. So this tube obviously was a lot larger on the edge, so I could just put that in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue inside my tube, and I'm going to put my first set in there, and then you can fluff those out. Just let it dry inside the tube. And then my next set, I'm just going to cut down a little bit farther. I might not have cut them quite far enough. So I'm going to put some glue on the outside of my tube. And then I just unfolded it, but then folded it again on a different fold line so that they all just sort of don't match up and the broom looks kind of messy. And I'm going to start wrapping it around. And because this tube is skinnier than my other tube, I'm going to have to wrap it around a couple times, so I'll add more glue. So you just continue to do that until you have enough broom on the end that you're happy with. You fluff it all up. So I have one more that I'll add. Just want to make sure they're all cut down low enough. Add some more glue. Might have to use my other glue here. Alright. I'm just going to overlap that and wrap that around. Keep wrapping your paper around until you have a nicely fitted that all on. And then what I did on the other one, it didn't stick right away, so I did put a piece of tape to get it to stick at first. So once that's dry, you can either take the tape off or leave it on. So I've taken the tape off on this one after it all dried. And I just fluffed up all my wisps, and if some of them are too thick, you can go back in and cut them again. And you can finish your coloring all the way down, and you can use that as your magic broom for your witch